This will do it. One kneel down, and the Pittsburgh Steelers run the table at the end of the regular season.
This is the most exciting play in football. Well, if it's your team that's winning. A QB kneel usually occurs on the last 2 or 3 plays in a game when the other team is out of timeouts, out of options, and out of chances. But how many times have we seen a team blow a lead they shouldn't have? What if I told you, if your NFL team has a lead, they should start kneeling way sooner. Like with 9 minutes left in the game sooner. In today's video, math is going to tell us that the most surefire way to guarantee a win is to simply give up. Dashing through my pubes on a lawnmower from Manscaped. All the trims will go with tech that is skin safe. My balls are now so clean with a trimmer that has a light. What fun it is to shave my balls, I might even get laid tonight. Oh, Jingle balls, Manscaped rules, you need to shave your eggs. 90 minutes of battery life and a nose trimmer from Manscaped. Okay, seriously, we can stop, but if you put off either getting gifts or asking for a gift, you gotta get the ultimate grooming kit, the Performance Package from Manscaped, which features the Lawnmower 4.0 with patented skin-safe technology. There's also Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Cologne, the Weed Whacker Nose Hair Trimmer, and the Shears Luxury Nail Kit. Yes, all of this in one place. So after this video, head on over to manscaped.com/5-points and get 20% off. Plus, I'll throw in 2 free gifts for you, the Shed Travel Bag and a free pair of boxers. Again, that's manscaped.com/5-points from the link below for 20% off the Performance Package Bundle. Your jingle balls will thank you. Oh, jingle balls, jingle balls. The purpose of kneeling is simple. Erase 40 seconds off the game clock and watch your opponent suffer helplessly like Giants fans watching Dave Gettleman draft. Given 3 downs, an NFL team can chew up 2 minutes of game clock just by taking a snap, dropping back a couple feet, and contacting the ground with that sweet, sweet knee action. Even better, if your opponent is out of timeouts and you're on the other side of the 2-minute warning, and you have the lead, 3 kneels, and you win.
What did he do? He just took a knee.
He took a knee and the clock is rolling. He completely brain farted on that when the clock is at 0.
Just make sure you have the lead. But let's take it further than that. Is there a magic situation that all but guarantees the leading team a win if they just simply start kneeling? Unfortunately for Falcons fans, the answer is yes. Let's start with the easy math. Like I said before, kneeling takes 2 minutes off the clock, and if done right, can take even more seconds off if a team knows what they are doing. But in the NFL, the first factor we have to account for is an opponent taking timeouts to stop the clock. Those damn timeouts. For simple purposes, we are going to assume that the losing team has saved all 3 clock stoppages at the time of kneeling. That means an entire set of kneel downs can be nullified by timeouts limiting the damage done, but we can still chew clock, just not a ton of it. Assuming each kneel lasts 3 seconds and a punt lasts about 7 seconds, that gives us a kneeling value against 3 timeouts of 16 seconds. Once the timeouts are cleared, subsequent kneel sets are worth a full 2 minutes and 16 seconds of game clock, until we hit the 2-minute warning, which stops the clock one more time. But there is still another important variable involved in kneeling early. The biggest variable when it comes to kneeling early is what your opponent is going to do when they get the ball back, and how you counteract that. In a perfect scenario for the losing team, a 1-play score after getting the ball would be ideal. Say you punt it after kneeling and the opponent starts on the 20. It would take at least 10 seconds of game clock to get down the field in 1 play. But really, are we that stupid? The smart thing to do would be play a quarters defense and keep everything in front of us. Even with limiting the other team to 15-yard chunks, it would still take 6 plays to get down the field, and at an average of 10 seconds each, assuming that not every play gets to the sideline. So that would take a full minute. Let's be even smarter than that. Let's come out in either a cover 3 or a classic Tampa 2 look, where the mic drops into coverage. The average drive time in the NFL is about 2.5 minutes, but if you are in Tampa 2 and your opponent decides to huddle, it can take as long as 5 minutes to score. Don't believe me? When the Patriots came back down from 28-3, they had a drive that lasted over 5 minutes, another one that went 2:28 on a short field, and another that went 2:33. And this was when they were desperate. So from here we have 3 sets of information. Worst case, not so good case, and best case. Worst case being you suck and the other team scores in 1 play. Not so good as if you employ Daniel Sorensen and blow a few coverages. And best case, if you just play Tampa 2 and let the opponent kill clock for you. We'll assign that 2.5 minutes. Now we have most of the data we need to put together my evil spreadsheet of win guaranteeing goodness. Here's where it gets fun. Our goal this whole time has been to have the ball with the lead on the other side of the 2-minute warning with our opponent having no timeouts. A certain win. However, the problem with certainty is it still comes with one more variable. Those being all the different types of ways to score in the NFL. A TD, a 2-point conversion, or a field goal. But we can narrow everything down to number of possessions the losing team will have if we kneel. If we know the time value of what kneeling yields us, then we can slice up the game clock based on that. The time for our opponent to score, and how many possessions they would need to tie the game. As stated before, our goal is to have the ball on the other side of the 2-minute warning, no timeouts remaining for Team L, and nothing to stop us. If we have that, it doesn't matter what our lead is when we kneel as long as it's at least 1 point. But in order to kneel further out, we need a 2-possession advantage, at least a 9-point lead. As stated, we have 3 scenarios: worst case, not so good, and best. Let's hone in on best case and how it would play out. If we have a 9-point lead, the kneeling index tells us to start kneeling with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. That would subtract 16 seconds and eliminate our opponent's timeouts. 4:14 left to go. Team L takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds to score a TD and convert a 2-pointer. Guess what? They did us a favor. They took it down to the 2-minute warning and then scored with 1:44 left. And we still have a 1-point lead. All we need to do is recover an onside kick, and the game is over. Before you start arguing, onsides are only successful 9% of the time. And unless you have some guy named Bostic on your team, you got this. 17-point lead, best case. Start kneeling with 7 minutes left. Let's go through this again. First kneel takes 16 seconds off. After the punt, 6:44 left. It takes them 2.5 minutes to score, 4:14 left. Lead is down to 9 points. Oh, this sounds familiar. Except now, we have the ball. We kneel it down to the 2-minute warning, and then we give them the ball back. But they're down 9. It doesn't matter if it takes them 10 seconds to score or the full 2 minutes. They aren't going to win. Fuck them. The math is simple. If you have a 17-point lead and the ball, start kneeling with 7 minutes to go. Do you hear that, Kyle Shanahan? What about a 25-point lead? 9 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the game. Damn, son. Now, I know what you're thinking. In fact, I made a whole video on it. Should the Falcons have kneeled in Super Bowl 51? Well, the answer to that is yes, but not when they were up 28-3. They actually never got in range of the kneeling index, as when the Pats scored their first TD, the lead was cut to 28-9 with 2:06 left in the 3rd quarter. Only a 19-point lead and only 3 possessions. Where they should have knelt was at 4:47 left in the game when Julio Jones caught a 27-yard pass to get to the New England 22. 3 kneels there would have caused New England to burn all 3 timeouts and burned an additional 9 seconds, bringing it down to 4:38. A field goal would have subtracted 6 more seconds and added 3 points. The Falcons would have led 31-20 with 4:32 left on the clock. The Pats would have taken about 2.5 minutes to score and convert, and after a failed onside kick, the Falcons would have won 31-28. Instead, those dumb fucks ended up punting and only wasted a few seconds after Jones' catch. And New England actually had all of their timeouts when they started their game-tying drive. Fuck you, Dan Quinn. What about the greatest comeback ever? The Oilers led 35-3, but that was with 13:19 left in the 3rd quarter. By the time they got the ball back, they had given up a TD, an onside kick, and another TD, and it was 35-17 with 7:46 left in the 3rd. Still a 3-possession game, even back then when 2-point conversions were not allowed. But not in the kneeling window. In fact, Houston would never get the ball in the 4th quarter with the lead. In the 2015 AFC wildcard game between the Steelers and the Bengals intercepted Ben Roethlisberger with 1:36 left in the game, as Vontaze Burfict ran into the locker room acting as if the game was over. It damn well should have been. With a 1-point lead on the back half of the 2-minute warning and the ball on the Pittsburgh 26, the Bengals were in the driver's seat. The only thing working against the Kitty Goes Meow crew was that the Steelers had all 3 of their timeouts left, but the Bengals had a hold card. 3 kneel downs here would have gotten it down to 1:27. A 45-yard field goal would have made it 20-16 with 1:20 left, and the Steelers with no timeouts. Instead, on the first play from scrimmage after the pick, Jeremy Hill fumbled, and you know what happened next. Instead of the Steelers needing a TD to win with time against them, the Bengals gift-wrapped them a game-winning field goal. Vontaze. Now, I poured through a bunch of games with blown leads looking to find an example of a team that royally screwed up and was actually in the kneel window. But for the most part, that was really hard to find. I mean, that's why you build a lead. But I will leave you with this. In the 2011 Magnolia Bowl between LSU and Ole Miss, Les Miles decided to kneel with 5 minutes left in the game. On 1st and goal, nonetheless, to take the win. He was up 52 points. Les, I salute you. So the next time your team is up 17 points with 7 minutes left in the game, tell those assholes to do the honorable thing and just give up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting. Please subscribe for more films on sports. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.